Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. This time we are going to be not playing anything. No, we are going to build decks. Illaoi decks. Because I cannot hold back my enthusiasm and excitement. It's just, it's just a little bit, I'm on the edge of my seat. But for seriously, I feel like you can do a lot with Illaoi. Like, just in my head, I have the three different region combinations that come to mind. We have Sharima, we have Freljord, and we have Demacia. All really good regions to pair with Illaoi. And I kind of want to go through building each of these decks to sort of cement my thoughts on and my estimations on how I think they'll do, and maybe even explore some other regions and see if there's anything good in those regions for Illaoi, because I think Illaoi is a very like, her archetype is very self-contained, and it fills in a lot of things, but leaves open areas that multiple different regions can fill, depending on what you want or desire to get out of your deck. So, and I'm totally down to exploring that here in this video. So stick around if you want to see that too. Leave a like, leave a comment on which of these decks you think are going to be the best. We're going to be here for a little bit. I'm going to be talking to myself a lot. But let's jump right into it. So first off, very easy thing to do. We type in the new keyword spawn, and we're going to just slap everything in there. Now we build around them and cut back. So we're going to add all the things that I think will serve the Illaoi deck, and then we're going to cut back things so that it's a total of 40 cards. For we're going to start with Demacia. Strike. There we go. Now we only have Demacia cards in our search. For strike, I think Wings of War could be interesting. Lots of times you're going to be battling with your tentacles, or tentacles can get really damaged. But you still want to take advantage of the strike. So fully healing them and then striking something so that we can level up Illaoi could be a really big deal. I do like that idea. I think Wings of War could actually see play in this sort of deck. But maybe it's not good enough. Maybe it's not consistent enough. Maybe it's too slow. Those would be reasons for it to not make the deck. But I think it has a good chance of it. Concerted Strike, I mean, like, standard Demacia things. And while we're at it, we can add some other standard Demacia things. Like Sharp Sight. Sharp Sight. Broadwing is just awesome. Broadwing is the... I forgot that. Next thing. Cataclysm. Starts a free attack, basically the same as a strike. In the case of Illaoi and the Sea's voices, triggers their spawn effect, an attack effect. I mean, I should say. That's actually not terrible. Cataclysm could be a real consideration. I wouldn't run both Cataclysm and Wings of War within the same deck. I think they're covering about the same. They're covering the same thing. They're a slow speed 3-mana strike. They have slightly different synergy points. This one with Illaoi and the Sea's Voices, and the Wings of War with just the tentacles, and actually Broadwing as well. We'll keep it. Like, Wings of War and Cataclysm are pretty much interchangeable. But Durand Protege. Now this is where it gets spicy. This is the idea that came to my head the moment I saw Watchful Idol. All right. Oh dear, I'm getting a call. That yeah, that was my dad. I'm actually going on a trip tomorrow when the Bard reveal is being released. So my reaction to the Bard reveal will be late. Oh well. Back was I was saying. Durand protege. Watchful Idol. Round start, deal 2 to me. This give tough and +1 health. This means this turns this into spawning 3 into spawning. Oh, I actually don't know. Okay, it depends on what turn you drop it on. If you drop it on 1, it will have already damaged itself twice, so it would only be. It would still be 3s, but if you played this on 2, then it would be 4. Played on the same turn, it should be 5. I can do math. Maybe. Inconclusive. But yeah, we want that. We want that. And we're already full on our total cards that we desire. But we will keep going. There's Shielded Durand. If we're running Broadwing, we could run Shielded Durand. Shielded Durand is just a really good protection tool in general. So I think we can get away with that. Golden Aegis is a consideration. Laurent Bladekeeper is not terrible. It basically says spawn 2 on my tentacle. Which, I mean, that's kind of funny, isn't it? This is a spawn 2. I mean, what's that card most like? Actually, there's not much like it, and it kind of. I mean, I'll add it. Pursuit, which is basically just Golden Aegis. I don't think we want too many. Maybe we don't even want Rally. We already have the Brew Leader for pressure of the one big tentacle that we're building, and we're kind of. So we might not even need Rally. In Demacia, that would be. Wow, that's a statement. We might not need Rally from Demacia. Second champion. Do we want a second champion? From Demacia, actually. That is actually a consideration. I think... No? I think we kind of want to go all in on the Illaoi game plan with Demacia. We could go Garen. I think Garen is not bad. It's a 4 into 5, and it gives +1/+1 for the round. It technically heals your tentacle 1. But yeah, I mean, I'll stick it in there. Probably cut it out. We'll see. Not Dragon deck. Could do Galio. But that might be a little bit too late. I think this is more of a mid-range deck, and I kind of want to keep it there. Yeah, and all these are too late. So, let's review the cards that we have. We have 57 cards. Alright. I think it's safe to cut away some Nakakemoros. We could go all in on Nakakemoros, but I feel like Demacia isn't the kind of deck we want to do that with. And in that vein, I don't think I need too much draw to cycle, because the whole point of the draw is from when we run out of gas. And we're less likely to run out of gas if we're winning earlier. So that's why we might just take away that. Brewer Lookout. If I compare Brewer Lookout to Garen, I think I like Garen a bit more. Alright. Answered Prayer. Answered Prayer. Do I need 3 copies of it? Do I really need 3 copies of it? I don't think so. And so does Shield the Durand. I kind of want to keep these 2 for the Broadwing, because Broadwing in itself becomes something that grows. that's separate from the tentacles, and that means it provides another threat for the opponent to remove. And it's not like these other protection tools become useless if I don't draw Broadwing. They just will be used to protect my Illaoi or my Garen or my Tentacle, which is a big deal. Unfortunately, these colors don't allow us to really protect ourselves against hard removal, so it's important to maintain as many threats as possible so that our opponent has to use the removal, like they spread out their removal, so that we can maybe get something that sticks. And in that vein, I think Laurent Bladekeeper might be too all in. He's too all in on the Tentacle, so we cut him. We don't need 3 concerted strikes, and we still have a lot of cards. Yeah, I don't think we'll cut that. 5 more cards. Okay, so Wings of War and Tentacle Slam. Let's actually compare these two because they kind of do very similar thing. Wings of War is really going to be only used with the tentacles to fully heal it before it strikes it. And Tentacle Smash, I mean, it can create the tentacle to strike with, or grow the tentacle, technically healing it 3, and then striking something. It costs 1 more than Wings of War, and it's also a champion spell from Illaoi. So if they do similar things, we don't need too much of both of them. And then that's also when we consider, I guess I am going back to it. Where is it? Cataclysm. I would still argue that they fulfill a super similar purpose, but if we are going to run this card, then I think we can drop them both down a little bit because they fulfill a similar purpose, and I feel like I have enough spawn as it is. But then there's 3, so I have to just straight up cut a card. I don't know. I like the synergy point with the. I don't know. I'm just a stickler to like sticking Broadwing in something and then putting Sharpsight into Rand's shield in it to make this little winged creature into a massive threat. I like that, and I like how Wings of War also plays with that. So it allows us to interact with your opponent's board a ton and provide a big threat at the same time. I like Broadwing a lot, and I think it might be more powerful than Garen. So I think I would cut Garen out. Just make this a solo Illaoi experience. Yeah. Just looking through the cards, see if there's anything else I would want to add. No, I feel pretty content with this. This touches on every spawn card or the Illaoi package cards, while filling in things that I think would add to the archetype or what the game plan for Illaoi is. And I think this deck fits that. So I think we're gonna save it. We're gonna save it for public, obviously. And we're gonna go solo Illaoi Demacia. Unimaginative. Clearly, we're going for mid-range here, because Illaoi just seems to be a mid-range card, and so we're gonna try and lean into that as much as possible when we're trying to make a deck around it. And since I haven't I haven't. I'm not gonna make it a description. Just gonna save it. Voila! First deck done. On to the second deck. Mm-hmm. All right, same deal. Same dealio. Type in the spawn word. We drop everything in there. And then... Oh, we search something else. Freljord. Stance. This... Oh, I didn't want that. I mean, cold resistance is kind of funny, but no. No. I want Inner Beast. I want Udyr. I want Allseer. I want Vulpine Warrior. I don't think I want Shaman's Call. I just want the good stance cards, you know. The ones that make sense. That you see in every stance deck. Alright. Now we go and we look for tools that generally are really good in Freljord. We have Three Sisters. We have... So we could... I mean, Entreat is kind of cute. Getting our Illaoi or Udyr, but Entreat doesn't see play in a lot of good decks. So I don't think I'll add it to mine. I mean, Mariah Ward. Actually, Mariah Warden's kind of interesting because what's his name? The Brewer Leader actually works with the one drop that Mariah spawns, so that's kind of interesting. I actually could even make it the dedicated one drop deck for Brewer Leader in that case. Ooh, that'd be fun. Maybe later. I want to focus on Illaoi, the cut down on deck building time. Oh, we're already 42 out of 40. All right, so we got that. Troll Chant. Trollgus is funny. We can give our Tentacle regen through Troll Gifts, but we're already doing that through stances anyways, so that kind of like... And I mean, yes, if we give it regen, then this becomes a +2/+2, but I feel like it's not enough base regen already in our deck for it to warrant a Troll Gifts. Though it's kind of an interesting consideration. I mean, we can heal our tentacles. I have been talking about healing tentacles. So, Kindly Tavern Keeper is actually a really good pickup, if that's the case. You don't really want... Like, things like Avalanche don't really serve us too much, and Bloodstorm Pledge, though interesting, doesn't really see much purpose since we don't really have... We're not like Demacia. We don't have, like, formidable units that directly benefit from the health gain. So this is a more of a protective tool, but this protective tool is split between two bodies. I don't know. I don't think Bloodsworn Pledge is going to be what we're looking for. And I mean, Hearthguard doesn't really help our spawn, though it is just a solid all-around card. Yeah, I think we might have found everything that I wanted to add. I mean, we could feel the rush, but we're not a ramp deck. We're going for mid-range, so let's stick with mid-range. Yeah. All right, let us now go back and look at what we're going to cut. Now, you see, I think the Freljord deck wants to play a little bit later than the Demacia deck, so it actually makes more sense to have more Nakakemoros. Do we need 3? Is it going to be a consistent game finisher? I have no idea. In fact, I might have to say no. It might not be. So I think we might just cut that down by 1. Allseer is interesting. We'll go back to that. Three Sisters, no deck that I have ever played runs 3 Sisters. It's always like 2. and it's always for the flexibility. So I think it's safe to put this down to 2. And I feel like Answered Prayer is sort of that similar vein, not because it's flexible, but because it's just not as strong as the other cards that are in the Illaoi package. So I'm probably just going to make this decision over and over again between each of the decks, but we're just going to stick to this style of deck building for my sanity. Vulpin Wanderer is like a must, so we have to keep it. Brew Leader might not be as important in this deck, in this region combination, because since we're going a little bit later, it's less important on putting pressure, but he still provides a lot of pressure. And technically, he really helps Illaoi level up. So, yeah, I think we're just gonna have to keep him in. This might change when I play this deck concept more. But for now, he's it. Kindly Tavern Keeper. I really like the idea of healing tentacles. Like you heal your tentacles, or even since we're going later and you might fight aggro, healing your face is completely viable. And it's just solid 3 mana 3/3. Because like Brew Leader, you're not necessarily playing on turn 3. Like you are the Sea's Voice or Kindly Tavern Keeper. So it's okay to have multiple 3-drops in this scenario, because usually you would only want to have 2 different types of 3-drops, and that's like, of course, all 3 of them were incredibly overpowered. Of course, Illaoi Tentacle Strikes. This now we don't have as much interaction in the Freljord color, so I would argue that we need all 3 Tentacle Slams, because that is, or Smashes, because that is, we really need that interaction. Burrow Lookout, I think we can take one down. I think I have Nikaboros is also on the cutting block. I need to cut 3. Huh. Oh, I don't like this. Allseer? Maybe Allseer. Do I just cut Burrow Lookout? See, I don't feel comfortable completely dropping a card out of the Illaoi package until I've actually played with it. That's part of the reason why these decks aren't going to be like the most optimized or whatever. I'm trying to optimize them based on my prior knowledge of how this game works, but I'm very susceptible to being wrong. So I highly encourage you to check out these decks and play them on your own, and make changes. I'll probably make more videos on these decks the moment Illaoi comes out for the content. But for now, we're just brainstorming and planning out different decks. So, do I drop Nakake Boros to 1? Inner Beast. Drop Inner Beast to 1? I mean, it's +1/+1 plus a stance. Get stances from you, and you. Having Kindly Tavern Keeper is really important in my opinion. Drop this down to 1. That doesn't feel right. We need this. Need it. Really important. Really important. Really important. I think I'll leave it like this for now, and I'll do more minor adjustments later. I think this is where I'm at. I think between these 3 cards are, sorry, 3 Sisters, Answered Prayer, and Inner Beast are the ones to cut down to a 1 of out of all of these. And Nakage Boros, depending on how efficient this ends up being as a finisher. So if you were looking to change the deck slightly, I would look there. But for now, this deck is complete. Or at least my brainstorm version of it. So we're just going to do best buds, Illaoi, and Udyr. This is more of a mid-range and safe. Alright. And now, third deck. Third region combination. Same dealio, we do spawn. Put all these things in. Right. Once more. And we add Akshan. Wait, did I add? Oh, I didn't mean to add grappling hook. Grappling hook is not really what we're looking for in this deck. Akshan, really easy to level up. Provides landmarks. Is an early drop. Because honestly, the Illaoi archetype seems to not have a lot of good, strong early plays. And so Akshan is a pretty good, strong early play. And we can run certain things alongside of that are already in Sharima to make up for our lacking early game. I mean, Desert Jewel is actually kind of similar to Cataclysm, so just by nature, just throw that in there. As well, since we're already at searched up strike. Bilgewater Tellstones is not really great. It's not the great out of flexibility. It's nothing like Three Sisters. Let me tell you, that Three Sisters is the bomb. Sharima Tellstones is actually a consideration. Well, first off, Shape Stone is also really good. Sharima Tellstones are good because it gives us the flexibility of removal that because like I would not normally run Weight of Judgment or Spirit Fire in this deck, but having the chance to have the flexibility to flex into them while maintaining the generally good Ruthless Predator. Ruthless Predator is actually pretty good with Illaoi. Like, Illaoi is very similar in Renekton in the fact that they have Overwhelm and want to attack. And Akshan really loves attack, and the vulnerable keyword gives us more interaction. I'm convincing myself into it. So here we are. We're actually going to try the Sharima Tellstones. I think that this is actually a pretty good consideration for this Sharima deck in particular. Treasure Seeker is just a really good one drop. Ancient Hourglass, good protection. Don't know if I would run 3, but we'll keep moving on. Preservarium? Do we want Preservarium? We already have Eye of Nakakiboros, but we could use more landmarks. Alright, we'll put it in for now. Rockhopper is a good consideration. Absolver. Now, if we're running Akshan, and we want him to actually be a threat, or our tentacles to be a threat, I think Absolver is key to this. Absolver is probably one of the core reasons to be in Sharima for this deck archetype. And in that vein, also Akshan, because he's the easiest champion to level up in between these two colors. So, oh, I forgot to add him as well. If only Akshan was 1 mana, man. Like, imagine if Brew Leader worked with Akshan. That would be nuts. It would be nuts. Too bad. Missed opportunity, I say. Merciless Hunter is just really good. Like, again, vulnerable. Really, vulnerable is our removal. So, yeah. Not to the point where we would run Unraveled Earth, but still really good. Put Rally in your deck if you want to, but I kind of don't want to build around Rally. I feel like a lot of it kind of sucks a lot of the fun out of deck building for mid-range decks. Just stick Rally in there. I feel like you can be more creative. I mean, I say that, but then Quicksand! Can't believe I skipped over quicksand. I hope they nerf it. Alright, nerf it back. Nerf it back! Rite of Negation is actually pretty good. I don't know why I put 3 in there. That's probably the first thing I'm going to cut down on. Bruiser is actually interesting because Lucky Finds can give our tentacles cool things, some cool keywords. Give it Spell Shield. Giving our tentacles Spell Shield could be interesting. Giving it extra health, defense. I believe Overwhelm is also a part of it. Pretty sure Overwhelm is also in Lucky Find. It's been a while since I played with Lucky Find, though. And it also works with Akshan. I mean, I'm just convincing myself to add things that I'm probably going to get rid of. Yeah. Ooh! That's 66 cards. Yikes. We're going to have to do some harsh cutting here. On the cutting room floor. I think, similar to the Demacia version, I think we're more mid-range than control. Like, I think the Freljord one is a little bit more control-y that you can get away with running 2 Nakakiboros, but not in this version. And in that vein, also drop this, also drop this, also drop, not that, this. Feel like we don't need as many hourglasses. We can get away with just 1 right, I feel. Sometimes you might just add 2 rights. I think 1 right is enough. Tentacle Slam, our main removal here. Though we do have a lot of interaction already. Yeah, I'm not feeling Preservarium. Just not. Ooh, Telestones. Shapestones. Treasure Seeker. It's a really good 1-drop play. It's like Treasure Seekers is so good as a 1-drop play. But is that what I'm really looking for? I'm really looking forward to just set up tentacles early in this deck. I mean, Treasure Seeker is just so good, though. You might just run it just because it's Treasure Seeker. Damn. And this is hard. Maybe Bruiser isn't good enough. Is Bruiser not good enough? I mean, Bruiser sees play in Akshan Sivir. And Akshan Sivir plays at a similar speed of what we're looking for. So, maybe. I mean, if anything, we play a little bit slower. So, like, I like Bruiser, man. I really do. I think I want to keep Bruiser. But I don't. And I think in order to keep Bruiser, I need to have a good enough early game. So I might keep Treasure Seeker for that. Rockhopper. Maybe I just get rid of Desert Duel. Or at least cut it down. No, I just cut it. I'm looking... Cut down on Quicksand. I can cut down on Absolver a bit. Okay, no, I can't. Okay, I can't run both of these. I cannot run both. Sharima Telestones. I feel like if I'm basing that creation on past knowledge, combining it with the package of Illaoi. So though I really like the idea, I really do. I really like the idea of Sharima Telestones in this. I think it actually fits really well in this deck. I'm going to cut it for the sake of sticking more comfortably with what I know. And since there's so much I have to cut already, so I'm gonna cut the Sharima Hellstones for that reason. I have to decide which card I want to cut the most. And out of all the things that like I don't want to cut Merciless Hunter, don't want to cut Buru Leader. I certainly don't want to cut any of Illaoi's cards right now. I think I've already, because I mean like the whole identity is Illaoi, right? So I want to keep as much of her synergy points that she has from her own region in the deck. So with that being said, I think actually Rock Copper has to go. So I have to cut 4 more cards. Oh my god. I think I have to come to a decision. I have to come to the decision of whether I want Bruiser or do I want Treasure Seeker. And the answer to that question is I think I want Treasure Seeker more. And that means we just have to cut 1 more card. No. No. I kid. But though, seriously, I don't know if Nakakemoros even wants to be in this deck. Because our win condition is more of the Absolver onto the Tentacle to be the most reliable. And I mean, technically. Funny thing is, you can Absolver the Tentacle and build it up to the point where you need it to be 12 plus power, and then attack with all the tentacles having Overwhelm at burst speed. Okay, I've convinced myself to keep it in. I think, honestly, Nakakemoros works really well with Absolver. Holy shit. I don't think we want to get rid of Right. I think Right is just a little bit too important because unlike with the other decks where we're trying to diversify our threats to spread removal, Right of Negation allows us to be a little bit more protective on our core win con. And I think that's a little bit too valuable to get rid of, just having that option. I literally just need to cut 1 card. But which card do I cut? Don't want to cut any of them. Ooh. Cut a quicksand. Okay, quicksand is degenerate. Cut a quicksand. Feel better. Yeah? I think I feel pretty good about that. Good enough to save the deck. Solver. It's spelled right. Stupid spell correct. Don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Alright. Save deck. The big question is, which of these 3 I think could be the best or the region combination? And honestly, I actually think that it's either going to be Demacia or it's going to be Sharima. And I'm leaning more into Sharima. I feel like there are just more options in Sharima that Illaoi likes, that you can play around with, can flex into depending on the meta, while Demacia and Freljord are pretty one-trick ponies. Not as flexible as the Sharima region in general. So if I was to order them, I would say Sharima, Demacia, and then Freljord. Though who knows? Maybe Udyr actually carries the deck. Who knows? But that being said, I hope you all enjoyed this discussion. I want you to leave a comment, leave a like if you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.